Hello and welcome back to Bricking It. Today we're building Professor Flitwick's office. I've got the base all tiled off, so let's get started. So Professor Flitwick's office is an unusual one for me because other than just being an interior, it's also going to have some exterior elements. So I'm going to be focusing on what both sides of this wall looks like. This first element is going to be a large window. Just building it up with these decorative pieces underneath and using this openable window that came with the latest charm set. Just going to pop that on. Got a nice couple of curved slopes on the top to form a decorative piece, and that'll just help it mesh in with these arches on the top. Going to have a bit of decoration on top, so I'm using these 2x2s with studs on one side, a couple of brackets on top of those, and then onto this snot plate I'm going to stick also from the latest charms class this round-ended 2x2 tile to display our Hogwarts crest. Just for a bit more detail around that, using a couple of these mud guards in tan, finish off with 2x2 tiles on the side. They're just going to give a little decorative border, and then either side of those I'm going to put a couple of supporters to our coat of arms, and as I've got some space on the bottom of the stud, a little bit of more gold decoration beside the window. Going to build those up with a brick and 2 plates just to bring it up to the same level, and that's our window. Now Flitwick's office is right at the top of the castle, so we're actually going to build this as almost like a very grand dormer window. It's going to be part of the roof line. I'm using these curved bricks. Just going to curve it back to our wall line. Now we switch to the interior because now we're going to add the roof support. So we're looking for a kind of rafters kind of effect here. So we're building a couple of platforms out of palisade bricks and using these wide 1x5 arches just to start forming some rafter shapes. Going to decorate them with a couple of pictures. They're just going to form a border around the window. And then because the walls are going to go in both directions, we need a couple more sets of arches just poking out towards the front of our build. These are actually going to support a pitched roof that's going to be either side of this central turret. A couple of these 2x3 inverted slopes in reddish brown, just so Professor Flitwick's not looking at the bottom of the roof tiles. Now I'm going to start integrating all these disparate pieces, and first off is a 2x10 tan plate, just to bring the interior bits up to the same level as the exterior. Then we're going to plate off this area with various shaped plates, including these wedges, just to unify the whole thing. Finish that off with a 4x4 in the middle. And to make it look a little bit more interesting, we're going to use these panel parts and create some battlements. Now these aren't going to be practical battlements, so it's a bit more of a decorative effect than any kind of actual defensive use. They're just going to form quite a nice border around our little tower here. Just popping a few plates in between those just to get a nice clean look on the top of our tower, and that will be filled in between with just some more tile. The last couple of pieces into our tower, and that is our tower pretty much complete. We can start adding some more roof elements now. I'm going to be building up the pitch roof with a selection of sand green and dark bluish grey sloped bricks. Now some of these do need to be replaced with 2x2s, although I like the 1x2s because of the variety of colour it gives you, and I can create a bit more randomness Some of these really do need to be 2x2s just to improve the stability of this roof build. It all gets locked in the end. We do have some bricks that are just floating at the back. I'm not particularly keen on that. We're going to start our roof build now. Integrated into the roof is going to be the chimney of our fireplace, which I'm just going to create here using a few of these light bluish grey parts. Use a couple of these standing clips just to create a little bit of a fire guard in front of the fireplace. Don't want anything too extravagant. And then a mantelpiece is going to be formed using this bracket and a tile just with a sticker on, which I think came from possibly even from the Charms Hogwarts Moments. It's been a while, I've had it around for a while, so I don't remember exactly where I got it from. Using slopes to just build up the chimney breast, and then that's going to integrate into the roof. As we can see the outside, we might as well add a little chimney stack to go on top. It's not going to come up much further than the height of our tower. Before we add the last row of roof slopes in, just going to add some rafter detail. And again, these 2x6s do need to be replaced with a 2x12, but I didn't have one in my inventory. So I'm just using these for now and relying on our roof slopes just to hold all of them together. And we've got to put in a small order, just get some more suitable bricks to make this build a little more stable. Visually it's kind of where I want it to be, but it's not quite as solid as it could be. There we go, case in point. I'll pop a tile across the top though, just to integrate all of these in together and hold them in place until we can get those replacement bricks in order. So we've got our fireplace on one side, our rafters going across the top, a little rat meeting up in the rafters there. Just to balance out this a little bit more, I'm going to put over on this far side one of my standard Hogwarts details. We're going to create a bookshelf. This is using exactly the same technique I use pretty much everywhere I build a bookcase really. Just using a snot brick and some tiles, plates and headlight bricks. We're only going up just a couple of levels on this one. It's not a huge amount of space to be filled. And the angle of the roof means we can't go up very high. But we are going to cap it off with just some more curved slopes attached to a plate. And it just slots in nicely under the roof. And again, I've got to put some filler bricks in next to it just to help support the roof. So that's most of our infrastructure. We can start on some mini builds for detail on the inside. First up is going to be Professor Flitwick's desk. Just starting with a couple of wedge plates, a snot brick with one of these plates with bar, and then a little tile on the front. We're simply going to have Professor Flitwick stand behind this once we've put the inkwell on, just for a bit of detail. And this is the one from the Charms class again. Although I haven't said that, it could be the one from the Advent calendar. They're both very similar, although both unique prints for the torsos. They do look very similar. We'll pop Professor Flitwick in there, just so you can see what he's doing. A little floor lamp, a couple of 1x1s on top, underneath a telescope and a glow-in-the-dark minifig head. That creates our little floor lamp. In front of the fire, we're just going to create a little footstool, just using a 2x2 round with a plate on top and a sticker that I found in a friend set. It's just going to sit here. And just for one more little bit of fun things to look at, I'm going to create a library step. Using this folded up hinge, could equally have been a 2x2 plate. I just like that little bit of detail on the front. And these steps are usually found in smaller libraries just to help access the upper floors. It is really a redundant little bit of scenery in a world where the Accio spell exists, but it just does help for another fun little thing we can do with Professor Flitwick checking his personal library. So there we go, back at his desk. There's Professor Flitwick in his office. Now obviously his office doesn't really feature in any of the films, but it does feature in the book. And when we come to Flitwick's office, it's for a very specific reason. And it's a good reason that I need an outside to this build, which I'm just going to finish off with a couple of busts, just for more detail and another chance to add some glow-in-the-dark elements to the exterior of this build. So of course this is where Sirius is held captive in the books, slightly different in the films. We can add him into the office, and that's why I wanted this large window. Over in the castle, we're going to start popping it into the display. Obviously this can be displayed two ways round, either with the interior of the office on display or the exterior, and actually display this one with my balcony, just so I've got somewhere to place Buckbeak so he's not hanging in the air. And that's our build. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please do leave us a like, and for more Hogwarts interior builds, please subscribe to Bricking It. Bye bye.